When you're on a shoot, there are so many moving parts. You're there to capture that sort of lightning in a bottle. I was able to take skills that became second nature to me at very, high level and high pressure environments, and sort of, treat this like a microcosm of that. Hi, my name is Al. I'm the company director of Big Boy Films. My relationship with being self-employed is really a story of starting over. I was working in London for almost 20 years in the film industry on major productions, and two life events happened. One was my relationship ended, and the other was my father sadly passed away. And in that moment I kind of decided to take my chance. I moved back up to my hometown, where I was gravitating a lot to at the time for family reasons anyway, and set up my own business, taking the skills I learned and making them into a small company for YouTube, social media content, videography and video editing. I found that once people learn about my background in major movies and TV, that they sort of gravitated towards that. So I sort of decided to lean into it. And since then, with very little advertising, I've managed to set up a humble but reasonably successful client base. When you're on a shoot, there are so many moving parts. You're there to capture that sort of lightning in a bottle. I found that after being used to being on major, massive shoots, I was able to take skills that became second nature to me at very, high level and high pressure environments, and sort of, treat this like a microcosm of that. So whether it's risk assessment, problem solving, contingency planning, all these things that you need to put in place on a shoot, because you're in control of very little in a way. It was something that I can embrace quite naturally, and so far hopefully there's very little that the client or the situation can throw my way that I can't handle. When I first started out, I was very intimidated by sort of bookkeeping, accounting, insurance, business management really. That wasn't my wheelhouse at all. Like it is with a lot of things, once you started it became less daunting than before you started it. And if you just start to bite it off and teach yourself and expose yourself to these things bit by bit, it all becomes a lot more manageable. And so far, so good really. Sometimes when I've got a camera over my shoulder and I'm running up a flight of stairs, it does cross my mind for a second, what would I do if I slipped and fell and, was out of action for 12 months or a year and a bit or whatever. And I think the answer to that is always about adapting. I would maybe, for example, post-production's a big part of my service. Perhaps I could just lean into that. Perhaps I could offer only that. Perhaps I could offer it to other companies. Perhaps I could get someone in to do the filming section for me. Always adapting, always evolving. I think that's important. When I decided to become self-employed, there were things happening in my life that I wasn't in control of. And life has a habit of not working out how you expect it. As I get older, I'm more reflective, I'm more aware of my mental health. And so far it's been the right decision, on a personal level as well, not just a professional perspective. It's been the right decision for my health, for my mental health, for the greater good for me and my family.